Welcome back. Well, it's going to be a busy 24 hours, but conditions looking a little bit better for Acadiana for sure compared to 24 hours ago, and much better than 48 hours ago, but still 24 hours before landfall. We have still a tropical storm, but it looks like it's going to become a hurricane later on this evening. But let's take a look at these dynamics that we're dealing with respect to Francine, still a tropical storm. And we have all that dry air. And one of the things that we've kind of busted on was this ridge of high pressure down here in Mexico, which is data poor. We don't get data down here, so that makes it rougher to find out how much dry air was getting into the system. But it has slowed the system down from intensification. But gradually, these systems seal themselves off from the dry air and they get going, and it's going to begin to move to the northeast, which it's doing right now. But we have the dry air to the north and west, which has retreated a little bit, but this upper level low is going to pick this system up and then move it more smartly to the northeast. And the forecast track compared to yesterday is about 50 miles farther to the east, and I expect another adjustment perhaps on that forecast track down the line, and we'll try to qualify and quantify that. Tropical showers across the Gulf of Mexico, but the main action actually with the center of circulation that looks to be right about here, just about east of Brownsville, or maybe a little east-northeast of Brownsville, and still pretty far southwest of, say, Cameron, Louisiana, but beginning to make its move now to the north. And again, radar range, pretty much a lot of the action out of radar range. As we get close to home, we do have tropical rains across the area. They've been pretty much inconsequential, other than they're getting you wet, and some localized gusty winds, especially with these cells moving across Evangeline into Allen and Beauregard Parish. And then as we get farther to the south, just patchy light rain across the region. So since 5 o'clock, we're seeing a little bit more in the way of a bursting pattern over the center of circulation of Francine. So we do think it is indeed developing. We're going to get an update on the storm intensity and latitude, longitude, that sort of thing coming up at about 6:45, 7. I'm going to try to do a Facebook Live. I don't want to interrupt all the network action that's going on later on tonight. So here we have Tropical Storm Francine, 65-mile-per-hour winds. Again, doing live on Facebook, not on the air at this point. Moving to the northeast at about 10. And again, I've been showing you not only the cone, but the radius of tropical storm force winds and the radius of hurricane force winds. Took off the cone yesterday, but I had a couple of complaints. People want the cone, so we're going to keep the cone there. And 2/3 of the time, the storm goes within the cone. 1/3 of the time outside of the cone. So notice Lafayette's on the back end of the cone. New Orleans is in the cone now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this forecast track goes a little bit farther to the east. Right now, it's going to be Category 1, 90-mile-per-hour winds per the National Hurricane Center because of the limiting factor with those upper-level westerlies that are going to be interacting with this system. But we can always have a surprise, and there is almost always a surprise with every hurricane. This one, it's been surprising that we haven't been able to model it well because it really never got going well down in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. So the models have been wrestling with that, but have been gradually shifting to the east, and so has the forecast track as well. So you do see these hurricane force winds butting up against coastal Vermilion, coastal Iberia, into much of St. Mary Parish and then Terrebonne Parish. But again, I think this may shift a little bit to the east. Tropical storm force winds covering a good part of Acadiana, but mainly 25, maybe 30-mile-per-hour winds, some gusts 40 to 45, and we'll get to that wind factor and what we need to prepare for versus what I think we might see, but that's a whole different story. Hurricane warnings in effect for the eastern parishes of Acadia down to the coast. Tropical storm warnings, Lafayette, Acadia, St. Landry, Evangeline parishes on northwestward. So tropical storm conditions, that means winds, some tropical rain bands. Usually doesn't knock out too many power. It doesn't give us too many power outages. But as you get farther south and east in the warning area, then there's trouble. And I think this is going to shift eastward as well later on tonight. Storm surge still an issue, but mainly for eastern portions of Acadiana. Notice there's not going to be a whole lot of water now based on the latest forecast track guidance across Vermilion Parish, maybe 2 or 3 feet that could cover portions of Highway 82 as you get down into coastal Vermilion Parish. Then we get to Intracoastal City over by the Dulcam Canal. Water's going to come up maybe 3 feet or so. Sippermore Point 3 to 4 feet, and then it's going to be a little bit higher as you get farther into St. Mary Parish. And we're always concerned by the Franklin area. There's sometimes backwater flooding here, so we'll watch that closely. in the 3 to 6 foot range. So low-lying areas outside of Franklin, you want to get to higher ground up toward the Teche Ridge, which is the high ground there as we get into the southeastern Louisiana. And this has been the big story. The graph model, which has been the superior model by far in the tropics, it shifted eastward last night. It shifted eastward again this morning, and even more so with the midday run, showing that the worst of potential hurricane conditions. Here we are at noon, tropical rain bands working their way inland, and then the real jiggy weather getting in as we get into tomorrow afternoon with some very heavy downpours and tropical rain bands, hurricane force gusts beginning to work their way into Terrebonne Parish. But here's St. Mary. So this is way off to the east of the current hurricane forecast track. We're not going to discount it. We like it because that would be better for Acadiana, but we can't prepare for that quite yet, or not prepare for it quite yet. And just to compare and contrast, let's bring in the HRRR model, and the HRRR model is also east of the current Hurricane Center forecast track. This is not particularly a tropical model, but it gives you a little bit better confidence that maybe conditions won't be so bad. But this is what we have to prepare for. Hurricane force winds, lower St. Martin Parish, all of St. Mary Parish, maybe 70, 80 mile-an-hour winds. This could be 60, 80, gusts 90, maybe up to 100. We'll see. You get into the areas of purple here, we're talking 55, 65, gusts 80. That could be portions of eastern Iberia Parish, down towards, say, the Gen Red area, Franklin as well. Then the red, 35, 45, gusts 55, still the possibility of power outages. Now, mind you, this is based on the National Hurricane Center forecast track. This all may get moved farther to the east. In Lafayette Parish, we're talking 25, 35, gusts 45 for a good part of Vermilion. NOAA's coastal southeastern Vermilion will have higher winds, and then the winds less and not as much of a factor as you go farther north and west. As for rainfall, we'll go with the HRRR model now. I think this is doing a little bit better job than the graph model on rainfall. Most of us see 1 to 3, 1 to 4 inches of rain, much higher totals as you get near and east of where that center makes landfall. I've toned down the Acadiana impact timeline for the storm surge. The water comes up as we head through this afternoon into tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, then comes down Thursday morning with that north wind. We'll go 1 to 5 inches. So I've really toned down the threat levels on the rainfall. Same with the wind gusts and tornadoes, mainly east of the center, but we'll have some tropical rain bands mainly on the northern part of this storm. So we'll have to watch out for that. So overnight tonight through tomorrow morning, temperatures holding in the 70s. This is the forecast for tomorrow. Wind particles, you see the winds coming in from the east, then they shift to the northeast, and then they come out of the north, and we'll have on and off rains again, a breezy day. But we'll go in general. Lafayette will say 15 to 25 with gusts to 40 to 45, and that could be for most of Acadiana. Lesser amounts, the lesser wind gusts to the west, and higher amounts as you go farther to the east. So tomorrow, hurricane conditions possible for portions of Acadiana, but not likely for all of us. And thereafter, it's a weatherman's dream thereafter. So that is the good news. Temperatures near 90 and overnight lows back into the low to mid 70s. No other tropical systems for now on the horizon. That's it for weather for now. We're going to have more coming up a little bit later on.